We spoke in the earlier session that the deepest level of the state is not thought and emotion, but one of pure experience. This experience is documented by the five senses, and hence, to get to this deepest level of the state, we use the language of the five senses and not that of thought and emotion. Understanding this state, its development and the resultant pathology helps to clarify this further. Our brain has two forms of functioning. One is conscious thought-driven and the other is automatic, hence not thought-driven. These two functionings happen simultaneously, but with their own distinct languages and their own forms of processing mechanisms. An example of this is what you see in your life all the time, when you can drive automatically on one hand and have deep, insightful, life-changing conversations on the other. Another example of this automatic brain functioning in your everyday lives is you could be talking to somebody about some instances that are happening today around. And in that conversation, the person can mention a name of some person, a name that is not a very common name, but coincidentally is the name of your history teacher in grade 7. Suddenly, an entire visual of your grade 7, like a flashback memory, emerges with every detail seen so vividly, the sounds heard, and even to the point of the smells being experienced at that time. This memory of the flashback 30 years ago is so vivid that we would often remark, it's so surprising that I remember all that when I cannot remember what happened yesterday. This is because the recent memory is the function of the thought-driven brain, while these flashback scenes or videos come from our automatic brain. The occurrence of these flashback memories in these form of visual scenes led neuroscientists to research further and thus recognize that every scene in a person's life is stored in this automatic brain in the form of photographs or video clips. As different scenes occur in our lives, the parts that we focus on with our thoughts go into our thinking conscious brain, whereas the background, which we are not putting our attention to, filters into this automatic brain. Imagine these scenes that are filtering into this automatic brain as pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Random pieces of these jigsaw puzzles from different scenes in our lives come together to form a new picture, a new scene. A scene that has not ever happened in our lives and is not part of our conscious reality. This scene now runs constantly in the theater of our automatic brain, while outside the conscious reality gives the ever-changing scenes of our conscious life. This scene that is running constantly now in the theater of our automatic brain is the state. Why is this important? The automatic brain also controls the functioning and regulation of our organs, our metabolism. As this scene is running constantly in the theater of the automatic brain, the organs now function according to this scene rather than according to the scene in the conscious reality. Hence, you could be sitting on a beach in Goa, enjoying the sun, the sand, the sea, but the scene in your automatic brain, if is a jungle with wild animals around, darkness, and they're all ready to attack you, your organs, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your respiration will respond to this adrenaline charged scene. As this scene constantly creates this high blood pressure, high pulse rate, high respiration, adrenaline charged actions on the organs, ultimately the blood vessels with cholesterol deposition get thickened and now stay in a constant state of hypertension. This is how the state leads to disease in the organs. An example of this. Thus, if we have to remove the disease from the organs, we must trace it back to this diseased state in the automatic brain, that which we recognize as the homeopathic state. How to reach this state and how then to match it to the similimum, we will discuss together in the third and concluding part of this series to understand the method that lead to the similimum.